evaded anyway. They didn't destroy it. They didn't get to destroy any planes. We had Major Bong and Major Captain Johnson and Major somebody else. Three aces that flew off our strip there for a while. And if they flew with bombs under each wing, and if they made a hit, they'd come back and roll across before they landed.
Huh.
And everybody would cheer, you know. But I stayed there till the war was over, keeping well. One of my main jobs there was to modification again. B-24 came in with two heavy gun turrets underneath the belly of the plane. They had a gun turret in the rear too. And it was between those two turrets, I guess it was too much weight on the back, and they had to do something, so we took the turret out and mounted, it was quite a job. Had to take the metal off all around the plane and revamp it to where they had 250 caliber machine guns, and with a lot less weight, you know. Well, that was one of the projects that I worked on. It's a wonder that anybody lives through a war. And then I wasn't even in the infantry. We lost a couple of men, but one of them, there's what they called a blood fluke. We were supposed to stay out of the streams there entirely, because there was a blood fluke in these streams that if you got it on your body, they'd get into your system and they'd start eating your liver up. And we've had a couple of guys that happened to. They got so gray that they're just almost black gray. I sent them home. I'm sure they died. But after a while, the infantry is up quite a ways, and they moved us into a level ground under a bunch of palm trees, and put up 6-man tents. From then on, things were pretty good. We worked, you know. We had plenty of stuff to do. But oh yeah, I got to tell you what. I was in the hospital there for a while. Yeah, I had pneumonia or lung problems again.
Uh-huh.
And it was a tent hospital. And one of the Red Cross workers came through one day with razor blades and stuff like that they gave out to the patients. And just to make conversation, I asked her if she, by any chance, knew a girl by the name of Ruth Hogseth that had joined the Red Cross. What did I say? Was it Red Cross? Yeah, I guess so. And she said, yeah, she's here at this hospital. Well, Ruth Hogseth was a very petite, very pretty teacher here. She had a fur coat, and she would come down the street. Like everybody, she was the kind that you'd look at twice, you know.
Uh-huh.
And I was ambulatory, so she told me where she worked. She worked in a tent that they had, a recreation tent for the people that could walk, you know. They could go up there and they had phonograph records and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I walked up there, and she was sitting on a chair with her legs up on the desk with GI pants and shirt on, and a telephone in her hand and a cigarette hanging out of her mouth. What a picture compared to what she was. I got right up in front of her, and she said, "Why, Mervy," she said. I hadn't known her since, because the teachers used to eat at our place, our restaurant, you know. He was really shocked. And then she told me there was another person from Spring Grove there too. Dr. Helen's son was a ward boy there.
Okay.
So he came over to see me, then she told him that I was there, so he came over to see him.
So what did you do for fun when you, during the war over there, or while you
Played poker
played poker?
every night after we got to
Yeah.
the end of six-man tent. We had a round piece of plyboard that came off the shipping part of an airplane wheel. We put that in the center of the tent and propped it up with bamboo. We had made a table out of it, and we played poker around that every night. I said, we made money too. I told them, well, we got $50 a month, you know. Well, to begin with, it was $21 a month once a year, or $21 a day once a month is what the song used to say. Yeah, then they raised us to $50 a month, and I didn't have an allotment, so some of the guys had an allotment. You know, they're married, they'd take out some for their wives, and then they send them the rest. Well, I didn't have any allotment, so I got all mine. And then when I got a couple $100, I'd wire it home. You were not able to do that some way. So I sent home $1,400 when I was, and it wasn't because I was such a good poker player, but I was just lucky, I guess. Of course, there was nothing else to spend it for either, except once in a while when there's a Negro battalion next to us that drove these ducks that they'd go out to and unload supplies. Then they'd steal one of them and steal one box of it. When they brought them, they hauled it to a dump, you know, where they had all kinds of stuff. I remember once they came through our area there, they had Parker lifetime pens, wanted $1 a piece for them. They take your choice of colors and everything. They stole a whole box of them, and sometimes they'd haul in beer and they'd bring it into our area. They'd back it up, and anybody wanted beer, you could buy beer. Of course, I bought beer any chance I had. And then there's Martina and Matilda. Martina was my age, and she looked like she was 70 at that time. And they came to our area and they washed clothes for us. And she had a little niece, a very pretty girl, what was her name? Martina, Matilda. I got a letter from both of them after I got home here. They said the new Americans are proud Americans. They have wives, their girlfriends, over there. They weren't as good to them. We used to buy hair oil from at our PX and give it to them and stuff. So, yeah, when we got shipping orders, she had my clothes and I found out where she lived. She lived in the grass shack, down by the river, down by the lake, I suppose it was. And I went down there and she was so embarrassed because I caught her out in the swamp, planting rice. And she wasn't fixed up like when she brought our clothes she had. In fact, after she got pretty well off financially, she got her 2 front teeth are solid gold. So she smiled. That was something that she always had looked forward to, I suppose, to have gold teeth. Poor things that didn't have much to live for. And her husband, all he does is sit there and drink 2 bottles of methanol, a homemade liquor that they made out of coconut. Hank drank some of that too. Then finally came the day that the war was over. Anyway, we got on this ship to go home, and it was a much smaller vessel. We could sit down and we ate, and I can't remember. Yeah, we had bunks that were much better than the four-teed ones, and conditions were pretty good. The food was good too. And when we got to San Francisco, when we went under the bridge, you should have heard the guys holler. Everybody was on deck, Everybody was just like they're crazy. Went under the bridge, and then up in the hillside was a big banner, "Welcome home, boys." And they anchored us out by Alcatraz
Okay.
because they didn't have they were trying to get everybody home for Christmas. Well, we didn't make it. But we anchored out there one night, and then the next morning, then they found a berth for us, and we pulled in there. And when we were sitting out on the Alcatraz, then they sent a boat out with a bunch of ladies on it with white handkerchiefs. And "Welcome home, boys. The heck with that, get us out of here, get us off." The ungrateful bunch of GIs are the most ungrateful bunch of guys there is anyway. Same way when we got to shore, they didn't let us off the ship right away, and everybody was hollering, "Get us off this blankety blank ship." They had a little band that came out to play for us. "Just get us off this doggone boat." And there was a Schlitz sign, beer Schlitz sign, off in the distance, and everybody saw that. When that gangplank went down, everybody went for that. And they had in the buildings there along the dock, they had a bunch of telephones. You could call home on any, you had to wait in line a little bit, but you had to call, no charge, no nothing.
Oh, nice.
And then I made an announcement on on the radio and TV, or I suppose it wasn't TV yet, that we weren't a bunch of bums, but we had to come back. You know, we were dirty. We'd been on the boat for 14 days without any change of clothes, so we probably smelled pretty good. And what they said, told them to treat us nice because we were just coming back from overseas. and then down in one main district in San Francisco, they had a building that was either Pepsi or Coke that had rented it, and they had it full of showers. And we give you a basket to put your clothes in, and you walk in there and take in any shower. There's all kinds of they're all out in the open, you know. So stay as long as you want and come back and get your clothes and go again. We had to live on the ship though for several days after we got docked, because it didn't have any transportation for us to get home because there were so many people, so many. We didn't even get a change of clothes. I remember I had a field jacket, the sleeves were too long, and a pair of coveralls on. And, they kept saying on the radio that shouldn't think that we were a bunch of bums, that we just didn't have a place for us, and that we were supposed to welcome any place in San Francisco. And I had a sister in San Francisco. As long as we couldn't get home, I called her up, and well, I called her anyway, of course, but she said, well, as long as you're going to be here, I want you to come out here for supper. So, and bring a friend along, she said. So a guy from New Hampshire and I went up there for supper one night. They told us how to get there on the streetcar. And they lived in an apartment, and I was so dumb, backwoodsy, that I didn't even know. I went up there, and there's a button to push in the apartment, you know, to let them, to signal them that they had some company. And then she pressed another button, and that buzzed so I could open the door. Well, I didn't know that.